Hi, I'm Chef Belinda and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to prepare your pot roast for the slow cooker. And if you don't have a slow cooker, you can also use the same process by using a lower temperature on your oven. So let's get started with our pot roast. First of all, we're going to turn our pan on medium heat and we're going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. While that's heating up, I'm going to season my pot roast. I'm using an all-purpose seasoning. You can use just salt and pepper if that's your preference, but I like to use an all-purpose seasoning because it has some extra goodies in it. So we're going to just season this real well. We're even going to season the sides. Okay, so now our oil is heated. So now we're going to put our roast in the pan and we're going to sear the meat on all sides. Okay, so now we're going to just flip the roast to the other side and let it brown. And then we're going to brown the sides. And we just keep going all the way around until all the sides are seared. Okay, so that's our seared roast. We're going to take that out of the pan for a little bit. In this bowl, I have what is known as mirepoix. It is celery, onions, and carrots. And I've got about 5 or 6 whole garlic cloves here. We're going to introduce those to the pan and we're going to let them saute for just a minute or so. And now I'm going to show you one tip that's going to save you time after the roast is prepared. This one step here is going to make sure that when the roast is done, the gravy is already thickened and it's perfect. So we're going to take a little bit of flour. We call this in the culinary world sanger. It's just adding flour to your vegetables, mixing them up and putting them in the pan. And then this flour, as the roast cooks and emits its juices, it will thicken up the gravy naturally. So now we're going to add these vegetables to, remember, we're not using a slow cooker, we're using a Dutch oven. And they're going to form the basis, or like a little rack, for holding our roast so that it doesn't sit on the bottom of the pan. We're going to transfer our roast to the Dutch oven. We're going to add, I've got about 2 cups of beef stock. I'm going to add that to the pot. I've got about 3 bay leaves that I'm going to put in there. And we're going to add some rosemary. You can use thyme, you can use basil. When you use rosemary, you want to use less rosemary because it's very pungent, but we do want to add some herbs. We're going to cover this, put it in the oven, cook it at 250 for 8 hours. One last thing, you may have noticed that I did not put potatoes in the pot. That is because, in my opinion, when the potatoes cook for 8 hours, they break down. I like them more firm when I serve them. So, about an hour before I take the pot roast out of the oven, that's when I will introduce the potatoes into the pot. When I take them out, they're not only done, but they still have their firmness.